All right, everyone. I want y'all to look what I have cooked today. Wouldn't y'all like to have that? Roy and I are fixing to eat this for lunch.
Whoa.
Now, let me tell you what it is. This is butternut squash and carrots that I've done in the air fryer. I cooked them in a little butter, and then I put a little monk fruit and stevia and a little caramel over them. This is thin pork chops with salt, nothing but salt, pepper, a little smoked paprika. And this is my canned beans and low-carb potatoes and some onions. I did them in a skillet. I cooked my butternut squash and carrots 20 minutes, my pork chops 20 minutes, my beans and potatoes 20 minutes, and I'm telling you, this meal was done in less than 30 minutes in 2 air fryers. So y'all stay tuned, and if you don't believe me, I'm going to show you how I did it. See you in a minute.
You have arrived at Grandma Rose's Open Pantry YouTube channel. Healthy food, fun, where we put delicious back into healthy food, and you're looking at Grandma Rose. Good morning, Grandmama.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my kitchen, and happy Friday before Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
Before Easter. I'm sorry, y'all. Happy Friday before Easter. For the last couple of weeks, I haven't been doing Air Fry Friday for several different reasons. But we're going to try to go back to doing it every week, and we're going to do it this week. And you know, a lot of times I use 2 air fryers. I have my little Ninja air fryer right here. And then I have my little countertop, what I call countertop. It's just a little Black & Decker, not real expensive. Mine was like $50. You can buy them up to $300-400. So mine's just a little inexpensive one. And so today we're going to be doing pork chops. Now this is just a simple meal. I was coming in the kitchen to cook, and I said, you know what, Roy, grab the camera. We're going to video this. So if I'm going to be cooking, I'll just bring y'all along with me. So all I've got on these pork chops is salt and pepper. And these are really thin pork chops. They're not your thick ones. These are just really thin ones. So I just salt and peppered them. I'm going to put them in the air fryer. I've got in my skillet here, I've got these are some beans that we canned last year, and these are my low-carb potatoes that have 2/3 less carbs than other potatoes do, the ones that we grow in the garden. So I have put a pint of my potatoes and a quart of these are like Italian green beans. They're flat beans. We love them. I have not seasoned them yet, but I've got them in my skillet. Now, this is a butternut squash that I cooked the other day. This is. And when I made my buttercream pie, well, all I did was cut it in little cubes. And, well, that one didn't, not cubes, but cut it in little slices. And I put it in water, and I put it in the refrigerator. And it's still it's beautiful. The color is beautiful. It's still fresh.
It has a good taste raw,
yes,
almost like
does.
a sweet potato.
Yeah.
In fact, I can eat them raw and enjoy them.
I didn't have quite enough of those, so I'm just putting some carrots in with those. And I tried to pick out the same size carrots. You know how in baby carrots, you get carrots of all sizes. You get some, well, you can see right here. They're all sizes, but I tried to get them the same size as my butternut squash.
Now butternut squash is low carb load, low glycemic load. For those of you who want to look up the glycemic load on that, you'll find that you can eat, 2/3 to a cup of it without affecting your glycemic load.
I have a little insert here, and I'm going to cook my butternut squash in my air fryer, and I had about 2 tablespoons of butter in there. So I'm going to put my butternut squash and my carrots in. I'm going to put a little bit of salt in these. So as my butter melts, I'll go in and stir these. Now, when they get through cooking, I'm going to put some this is brown monk fruit and stevia. A mixture like cinnamon sugar. This is brown monk fruit and stevia mixture. So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of that on it because that will be delicious with our pork chops. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put these on. I'm going to turn it on. I think I'm going to cook these on 375, and I'm going to do it I'm going to start out with 10 minutes, and we're going to let that cook, okay? Now, in my potatoes and beans, I am going to put some onion. So I just took an onion, peeled it, cut it in half, and then cut each half in half again. So I cut it in quarters. And I'm just going to put this in with my beans and my potatoes. I don't want a bunch of onion, but I did want a little bit. So you can see about the size they are. Can you see that, honey?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Let me get this in here. That's the root in. I haven't put any seasoning at all in these. So I think I will put, or I know I'm going to put pepper to taste. This is your taste now. I'm not going to measure my salt and pepper. I salted my potatoes and I salted my beans when I canned them. So I'm not going to use much salt because they're already salted. Now I am going to put some, go ahead and turn my burner on medium high. I'm going to put some bacon grease in here. And that's like 3 tablespoons of bacon grease. And this is bacon grease that I've been cooking bacon the last few mornings. And this is just some bacon grease that I saved. And I use it in my veggies. Okay, I think that's all the onion I'm going to put in it. Oh, it's about right, doesn't it, honey?
Mm-hmm.
You think we need a little bit more onion? Because the onion is going.
Looks good to me.
The onion is going to cook down some, though.
Okay.
I think I'll put a little bit more because they are going to cook down. So this is like 3/4 of a medium-sized onion. Now, if you don't want onion in yours, don't put it. This is just to mine and Roy's liking. Just the way we like it. Okay?
And if you're really watching your carbs, look, eat more of the green beans and fewer
Right.
of the potatoes.
Right.
In here, but these are low.
These are low carb potatoes.
Yes,
yeah.
they are.
You can put
lower.
half as many potatoes of your regular potatoes, and it'll still be delicious. Okay, I'm gonna put a lid on that. I've shown y'all this before. This is just the neatest thing. This is a universal lid right here. It fits. I'm not gonna use it on this one because this skillet has its own lid. But it fits an 8-inch, 10-inch, 12-inch, and maybe a 14-inch frying pan.
It's a handy tool in the kitchen.
But this one has its own lid, so I'm going to use it. All right, we got that going. We got our butternut squash and our carrots going. Now, I have shown y'all before, come around here, baby. I have shown y'all before my air fryer. It has a little drip tray. I'm gonna move this up one. All right, and underneath here, it has some little handles, what I call handles. All right, and what that is for is to put this drip tray underneath there like that, because we have our basket, and when you cook in your basket meat and things, sometimes you know how the drippings will drip through. Well, they'll fall in this little tray right here. But Then I have another tray down here that pulls out, that if it goes over here, it'll drop down in here. Well, I keep aluminum foil on this one because it's easy cleanup. All right, now, salt and peppered, my pork chops, and I'm just gonna lay them in. I don't know that they'll all go in here, but it's not gonna take them long at all to cook. So if I have to do two, and I'm gonna have to, if I have to do 2 cookings, that's fine, because it's not, I only have, well, I have 3 left. It's not gonna take long at all to cook these pork chops. And I've told y'all they were frozen, and I defrosted them in the microwave. I know you're not supposed to do that, but I did this morning because I forgot to take them out last night. But I'm gonna put these on air fryer. My air fryer will only do 400. It bakes, it toasts, it broils, and it air fryers. The air fryer temp will only go to 400. Now the bake and the toast, I can set my temperature. But in the air fryer, for the air fryer, it's only 400. So probably it's not gonna take very long at all for these. So I'm gonna put them, come right here, baby. I'm gonna put them in my air fryer. And I've got it on air fry right there. And on this one, you have to turn it past 20 and back around to the temperature that, to the time that you want it to cook. So right now, I've got it on 20 minutes. It may not take that long, but it may. So we've got my butternut squash and my carrots. We've got my potatoes, onions, and beans cooking right here. And we've got my pork chops on. Now I want to show y'all something.
Oh my goodness. This is not a fake flour, folks.
Do you see this? I bought this at Walmart before a month before Christmas. Y'all,
It's twice as big as it was.
it's 3 times as big as it was, and it won't lose any of its blooms. I keep it watered, and there were 2 little leaves, and you see this one's turning a little yellow, and this one, and I pulled 2 off of it this morning. But y'all look.
It's still putting out red leaves.
Now this one is beginning, and that one is beginning, but it's still putting out new leaves, y'all.
Yep.
I don't know much about poinsettias, but I do know one thing. I know this one loves where it's sitting. It's either been right here on that table over there.
It's in direct sunlight.
And it loves it. I don't know if it's going to look like this time next Christmas. This coming Christmas. I don't know. I've never had a poinsettia to last like this and be this healthy. So I just keep watering it, and I'm going to fertilize it in about a month when I fertilize my other house plants. But y'all, I don't know. I've always heard if you have a poinsettia, if you put a paper bag over it and put it in a closet, that it goes dormant, and all you have to do is take it out the next year and take the paper bag off, start watering it, and then it comes back. I don't know that, so but anyway, if y'all have ever had a poinsettia last like this and be this healthy in April, almost May, let me know, because like I say, it may look like this come Christmas. Who knows? But anyway, all right, that was just a little thing I just wanted to share with y'all. I'm going to keep cooking everything, and we'll be back. All right. All right, y'all. This is our butternut squash and our carrots. And as you can see, they're just beginning to get tender, the carrots and the butternut squash. They were beginning to turn a little brown, and that I didn't want them to turn brown, so I turned it down to 350. I cooked them 10 minutes, and then I put 10 more minutes on, but they still have 3 minutes left. So at the 3-minute mark is when I turned them down to 350, And I'm going to finish cooking them at 350. Now, it's when I am going to add some of my monk fruit and brown monk fruit and stevia. You want to come over here, baby, so you can get down in it. All right, now, this is, I don't know if y'all have ever used this. I'm trying it today. Roy said, honey, get some of that caramel syrup out. It's sugar-free coffee syrup. And so he said, honey, put a little bit of that in the carrots and butternut squash. So we're going to do that. Now, I'm not going to put much because I don't know how strong it is. That's probably a tablespoon. All right, I'm going to stir them up, and then I'm going to taste of them. After I stir them up, now these, probably by the time these cook 3 more minutes, well, I know they'll be done. So, all right, now put the 2 tablespoons of butter in to begin with. Good. Woo, doesn't that look good?
Looks good to me.
All right, I am going to taste one of these carrots. No, I'm going to taste this little butternut squash. Now that was overdone, but it was real little. Woo, honey, that was a good call. Oh my.
You saw it first on Grandma Rose's.
There's all kinds of flavors of this, sugar-free. So, all right, I got to do another little taste. One that's not overcooked. All right, there's one right there. It's done. It's done now.
Mm-hmm.
It can do like, I'll do it the other 3 minutes, but I turned it down, remember, to 350. You don't use this if you don't want to. Just, I put a little bit of salt on it. Just leave it with the salt on it. But we like ours just with just a little sweetness to it. All right, I'm going to put this back in my air fryer. It's actually 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Now, you want to come over here, baby? I cooked the lid off my potatoes and green beans and carrots. Now I'm just I put a little garlic powder, a half a teaspoon of garlic powder in them. I love garlic in my beans and potatoes. So, but I wanted to brown them a little bit, and as you can see, they're just beginning to get brown. They were already done. Everything was done except the onions when I put it in here. So, I'm going to let these cook about 1 more minute. They're going to be done. Y'all, this is a quick meal. Now, my air fryer, it has got like 1 minute on it. And it may be done already. I'm not sure. But I sprinkled a little bit of smoked paprika on them because when you do them in the air fryer, sometimes they don't have a lot of color to them. And I do like for my meat to have a little color, so I sprinkled a little smoked paprika. I'm going to check the temperature on them. We want the temperature to be 165 degrees. I don't want to cook them too much because I don't want them tough. All right, that one's 156. This one is 156. All right, so they've got about 2 more minutes to cook. I'm gonna cook them until they get 165 degrees, and then our meal is going to be minutes for the
20 minutes in the air
20
fryer.
minutes in that air fryer, 20 minutes here, and it's going to take like 20 minutes here. So, cooking all 3 of them at the same time, our meal is going to be ready.
Low carb, delicious, healthy.
Delicious. All right, so we're going to bring y'all back because I'm going to take everything off at the same time. It's going to all be ready at the same time, so we'll be back.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Pork chops. Look at that. Now, these are thin pork chops. If you have thicker pork chops, you're going to have to cook them a little bit longer. But these are really thin. And if you cook them in an air fryer like this one, like the Ninja, it won't take quite as long. It takes a little bit longer in this one than it does my Ninja over there. Okay?
Beautiful, Rose.
I know. Be sure and put some paprika on them.
Don't call Mike.
No, Don't call Mike. Okay? I'm going to try to get all of this on one dish, on one tray here. It just makes such a pretty. Now, I might should have got a bigger platter.
No, you're just serving me and you and I.
Yeah, yeah.
That's beautiful, right there.
All right. Now, see how that one's kind of charred? That's the way we like it. All right. Now, on this side, y'all look at this. Ooh. Butternut squash and carrots. You could do sweet potatoes and carrots, butternut squash and sweet potatoes, just all carrots, all butternut squash. I know you're going to get some. You're going to get one, aren't you, baby? Yep. Okay.
Whoa.
Isn't that good?
Good gracious.
All right, there's a little juice in here, y'all.
That caramel.
And butter. I want to pour a little bit of that butter and juice.
That caramel on that butternut squash. Whoa. Man, that's really ready to eat.
Isn't it?
That's delicious.
All right, y'all. Y'all saw it right here on Grandma Rose's open pantry, how you can cook this meal using the air fryer and a skillet, and you can have it done within 30 minutes. And let me tell you, oh,
this is a full meal deal, Rose.
this is a full meal deal. Y'all look at that. Those beans, y'all. Isn't that beautiful?
We still call this low carb. You just count out your potatoes depending upon how you were eating.
That caramel?
That caramel sets that on fire, doesn't it?
That is delicious.
Wow.
All right, y'all, we're going to be back in just a minute and give y'all a taste test. All right, y'all.
You have done it today.
I have done it today. Woo! Now. All right. Uh-oh. There goes a bean out of my beans and potatoes. All right.
Well, let's tell them first.
If
you're low glycemic and low carb, and you haven't been leveraging butternut squash, which has a very low glycemic load, meaning it doesn't spike your sugar. If you haven't been leveraging butternut squash for your potato or for your sweet potato in your diet, you have been missing it. Let me tell you something. The way she prepared this week, especially with that caramel, what do you call that stuff you put on it?
It's caramel sugar-free coffee syrup.
Yeah, it's coffee syrup. Caramel sugar-free
You don't
coffee
have
syrup.
to just use it for coffee.
And who was that suggested that you do that? Okay. Right there, dog.
Him.
Right there.
Him. All right, y'all, look at this. Now look at that plate.
Oh,
Wouldn't y'all love to be sitting down to this plate?
that's the whole meal deal right there. That
Whole meal deal. All right,
you got
baby.
some low carb potatoes, you got some onions, you got some green beans, you got some butternut squash, and you got carrots, and you got delicious pork chop.
Now
What
you
else could
can
ask?
season this pork chop any way you want. You can, you can put barbecue sauce on it. We like it plain sometimes, just with salt and pepper and a little paprika. Don't overcook it.
Don't ever dry your pork chops out. That's a sin. That butternut squash is over the fence.
Those beans, they're so good. Have we planted some, or are we gonna plant some this year?
Got some planted down. I've got some more from Gurney's.
We'll show y'all this when they start getting ready.
I've got to plant the second planting.
And these potatoes, y'all. You can grow these potatoes in a flower pot. You can grow them in a bucket.
In the backyard along the fence, you do not have to say, I can't grow these because they're so easy to grow.
Order them from Gurney's. I'll put the link down in the description box where I put my recipes. All my recipes are in the description box, all of them. And if for some reason I upload a video and you don't see the recipe within a couple of 3 hours, the recipe will be in there. I'll go back and I'll edit it in. All right.
You got to try those carrots and you
I
don't have
have
to have both of them, but you can either use the carrots or you can use the butternut squash. But
That butternut squash, man,
these green beans, and
that is
onions,
good, y'all. I'm cooking my last 3 pork chops over there in the air fryer. I had 7 and only 4 would go in that air fryer. But, man.
you don't even have to ring the bell for people to come to the table for this meal. Just tell them you've got it.
Delicious. Perfect. Good gracious. I love these butternut squash. All right, y'all.
God gives us such good food if we'll just leave the sugar and the high carbs out and maintain our health.
All right. Food feeds the family, family feeds the heart, God feeds the soul. Y'all, this is a perfect meal right here.
Right.
Perfect.
It is.
All right, we love y'all.
It's a dinner for Easter.
Yes, yes.
If you
Oh,
haven't
yeah.
cooked the big ham or
Simple.
you haven't cooked the turkey,
Uh-huh.
this is a
simple.
great.
Yeah.
And one of those salads, fruit salads that Rose has been showing you how to fix, either
Yeah.
congealed or not
Perfect.
congealed,
Perfect.
and it would be a perfect.
Yeah. Perfect Easter
Perfect meal,
meal.
Easter.
And easy, simple. So,
You got to tell others about it.
if we don't see y'all tomorrow, happy Easter, everyone.
Yeah. Because
Happy Easter.
we start celebrating Easter today. We listen to sermons, we read our Bible, we pray. Of course, we try to do that every day, but
Yeah, but
we'll listen to a sermon at 12 o'clock today.
we'll spend the rest of the weekend,
The weekend
just with
worshiping.
the Lord. And so we will not see you tomorrow, but we'll see you again Monday. So we hope that all of you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend, Easter weekend. Spend it with your family, your friends, your church family, and
Worship the God you serve every day, not just on a special occasion.
we love y'all. We'll see you Monday.
God bless.